So I'm now recording just so that you know. Okay, so I want to do a search and my idea is I want to know what's going on around a listing that I'm going to try to comp. And so I go in here and I choose active, pending, and sold. And my solds are within 6 months. And so now I've got some additional um, things. Notice that I have 23,110 matches. So in the old system, you could go in here, click here to draw or select boundaries. So I do that. Okay, I get this note here. Your results exceed viewable limit of 1,000. So you click and close that. And so you center on a property. All right, so let's go, let's see. No, didn't find that property, so there we go. So now it found Deer Run, but notice there aren't any properties showing, and no matter how much I zoom in or zoom out, I don't see any properties showing that meet my search criteria, right? And the reason is because there's more than 1,000 matches. So to see the actual properties that fit the description, I either have to narrow my search or I can click on this, search while moving map. And if I do that, then it shows me, because now I've reduced the size of my market, I now have 110 matches. So now I can zoom in and find properties that fit the house that I'm looking to do. So this house on Deer Run is one that I want to know the comps on. And so now I can see the nearby sales, and so I can pick my comps from here. So you know the house that I was going to make a bid on was 219,000. I can see that there's lots of other houses that have sold recently. So here's one next door sold for 275. Now it's a 2-story or tri-level, 4 beds. This one 242, 2-story. This one another 2-story, 250. So I can go through here and find comparables by just clicking on these. Here's a ranch, and so I can get a better idea of way to pick comparables. But if you just go in and you don't click this search while moving map, then you won't see the data that you're expecting to see. So the easy way to do that is make sure you click on that, and then as you zoom in and as you move around, notice as you move around, it changes the matches that are in the map search at that point. So it's 26 matches looking in this area right here. This also then allows me, okay, so if I want to do draw a search pattern, now I can go in here and like click on this, and now see, here's something that happened again. Your results exceed 1,000, so suddenly all my results are gone. And now I can come in and click this this shape that I have. So you can see that it's not the easiest software to use, but it does work. That it's sometimes you have to go through things like re-clicking on search while moving map. Now, why that unclicked when I clicked that I wanted to draw a shape, not sure, but it did. At any rate, now there's 29 matches in my shape that I could use for a CMA or quit CMA or something of that sort. Questions on how to do that?
No, I'm glad you teach me how to do that because I was having trouble with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to figure that out.
Yeah. Now, another way to do it is if you haven't clicked that, all right, and you want to get rid of this shape here. Not sure where the shape is actually. I never finished it. Finish, there we go. Cancel. Here we go. There we go. All right. Another way to do it, if you're having trouble with the map search, you can center in a little bit better by going down here and I say county, going for Hamilton County. Okay, and now we have 23. Well, let's see, I didn't pick it. Sorry. You have to pick it down here. All right, so now I've picked Hamilton County. I still have more than 1,000 results in Hamilton County. Okay, but I could select, I could narrow that down. I could narrow it down to, I've got Hamilton County, I could go to Carmel. And now I got less than 1,000 and it should show me houses. I don't see them.
You have to click the box, right? Nope.
Maybe there's nothing for sale or sold or whatever.
That happens to me a lot. I don't know why. That happens to me a lot. So
Yeah. Well, I did reduce it down, and maybe the reason is, let's see.
You're south of 96th Street. You're not in Hamilton County.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not in Carmel. Now I'm in Carmel. Okay, so there's my list of homes. So if I narrow it down, then I don't have to have that search while moving map, because I've narrowed it down to a displayable number of homes. So that's another way to use the map search or to narrow it down to the quantity of properties that you're looking for. So any other questions? Okay, let's talk about.
Can you reduce the map instead of having you to go to Carmel? Like, yeah, minus. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can zoom out, but right now I've got Carmel in here as a city. So Hamilton County, Carmel. So it's only going to show me listings that are in Hamilton County and in Carmel. So again, you have to realize sometimes that you have to play with this search if you're going to look for specific properties that are already on the market. Now, the other thing is if you actually draw a search area, then it will show you whatever properties are in that search area that meet your criteria on the left. So let's go to CRS data. And to get there, if you're in MyBoard Central here, this public records, takes you to this CRS data. So if I go to CRS and I go to the home screen, this is where I can look up properties and get property reports on them and et cetera. So this takes the place of the old tax records data system that we had before. And so it also saves recent properties that you might have looked at. And so you can come in here and you can click either on one of these recent properties, or you can search. Now, one of the things that you have to do, you have to at least have a county in here or it won't find anything. So if I take the county out and I put my own address in here, it doesn't find anything. If I submit it, it tells me there's nothing. Okay, but I know that that's my house. Okay, but I didn't select a county, so I have to select a county at least to search in. So I need Marion County because that's where I'm located. Okay, then if I come in here, the other thing is less is better. So I start typing 9220. I see things come up below, and then I start typing in my address, and then I see it. So I can choose that, and it will now find my property report, and it'll show on the map and et cetera. Okay, so I have the ability then to find my property, and then there it is in the neighborhood and et cetera. Now I also have the ability to look at comparables. So I could do a CMA and a client report. I could do a quick CMA for this property, or they also have an option for prospecting. Let's say I want to search in this neighborhood and prospect this neighborhood for homes surrounding this. So I could do different search filters to be able to do that. So and so now suddenly my search criteria are gone. This is one of the frustrating things here. All right, well, the last time I used this, there were filters over here that you could use. Now, why there's not filters here now, I'm not sure. This is interesting how this works. Okay, so if I go back to the comparables part, what it does show me here is suggested pricing for my house. And it tells me what the tax appraisal is and et cetera. So you do have the capability of doing that. And you can also search out further.
So is that on the left, like the lowest price, and then the medium, like when we had
Yeah.
comparable before,
Yeah,
like
and
lowest,
it's it's picking comparables for you. It's a bit like oh, what do you call it? RPR. It's a bit like RPR in
So
terms
what
of
should we
how
do, like with our client? Like when we need to do comparables for a client, should we just go there and then
you
print
could
that and
go,
send that to our client?
yeah, you could go there, or you could go to um, um, RPR. Either one would help you, or you could just run a search for comparables doing a map search. There is a way in here, and I'm not sure how to find it now. Like I say, sometimes you think you know how to use something and you don't. But there is a way to use some kind of layers on here, but I don't currently know how to get to it. But what it will do is it allows you to find recent sales, and they'll populate in your map. And I don't know I'm kind of at a loss to get to those.
Yeah, because it would be interesting to know if those comparables are like if we do it on the map and we find like the ones that are sold in the last year to compare with this search to see if it's almost the same ones or it's very different.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you get the CRS map layers in this view. All right, if you come up here to recent sales, then you can look back in the last 24 months, for instance, and turn that on. And it will populate in here if there's been any sales. See them start populating? So
What did
these
you
are
get at
sales in the
CRS
last
maps?
24 months. And I can just toggle these on. So if I want more to go further back, I can. So, okay, this house here sold within the last 36 months. And so you can use it to scout around for comparables. My property is probably not a good one to use for that, just from the standpoint that there's not been a lot of sales near me. But if I go in further into my neighborhood, this is all the moorings in here. So I can see other properties that have sold. And again, to find out the details of those, I can click on it. It tells me what the last sale price is, when it sold. And then I can actually view the report of that property if I want. And it gives me the property report on that specific property. So you do have the capability of being able to get additional data out of the tax record that may work for you to find comparables for a listing. So this is another way of going in and doing it. And I guess the way you have to do it is you have to go to the full map or the larger map, and then open up the CRS map layers and recent sales.
How
That
did you
makes
do that?
sense to you?
How did you go to the CRS map layer? I missed that.
Okay. I was back here. I made my map bigger. So I was in a property report here. Okay, and it shows my property where it's located here once it comes up. Okay, and and you can see that I don't have that CRS data over here. But if I click on View Larger Map down below, now it shows me a larger map. And you see this little double arrow over here to the left. If I click on that, it now shows me my map layers that I can use.
Okay.
So for instance, I could get school information here, high school zones. Okay, so if I turn that on and high school locations, then and I zoom out here a little bit. Let me see, I got to get this where I can yeah, in my way. There we go. If I zoom out a little bit here. Okay, now it's showing me the boundaries for the school. And if I search around in here, eventually it'll show me where the school is. You know, if I zoom out a little bit more, I probably will show me. Okay, so here's where I'm located, and here's the schools. So Lawrence North High School, Hope Academy, McKinsey Center for Innovation and Technology, and that's all in this district right here. So you can look at school zones. Let's see what else you can do in here. I mean, this is kind of interesting thing to play around with, and I lost it by getting rid of my larger map. You can come in here and you can look for recent sales. You can look for listings, foreclosures. You can find your flood zones in here. So if you click on the flood zones, then it will show you if there's any flood zone where I am. Okay, so I'm in flood zone X though. So I can also do, I think, a topo map here. Not that it helps a lot. That's supposedly a topo map. Not sure how that helps me. But you can play around with these and you can see different ways of looking at at your map. You can turn the parcels off if you want. Don't know why you would want to, but you can turn those off or turn them back on. So any questions on searching with using CRS map layers? Again, it takes a little playing around with and practice using to figure out how to do all these things, because it's not obvious a lot of times. So it wasn't obvious to me how to get to this map layers, but the way to do that is to have a larger map to be able to do that. When I go to one of these things up here, it's going to shrink my map down and take away the ability to search by layers. So now I've just got a small map because I'm in a property report, and it's just showing that property and the parcel information about it. Hopefully that helps you a little bit with using the CRS data. It could be useful, like I say, for finding properties that may be good comparables for a property that you're trying to research. You could use this method, your CRS, or you can use the map search and MyBor, realizing that if you're looking at over 1,000 listings, you're not going to be able to see them on the map until you either click the move map with search or reduce the amount of listings by your criteria, search criteria. Does that help you? Or are you all just like?
No, that's helpful.
It is helpful. So we're gonna start
Yeah.
working on it and losing all the information like you.
Well, and I'm recording this, so I will post this up, and you guys can go there and look at it, and hopefully that'll help you remember if you forget, like me. The last thing is your KV Core websites, and you have to. It's a bit of a process to get the IDX set up for your websites. And so I don't know what's driving this, whether it's MyBor that's different or whatever, but at any rate, what we have to do to get IDX feed on our KV Core websites is we have to go online. I sent you all a link. You have to go online and fill out an IDX request form on KV Core's IDX system. They then will generate a document that needs to be signed by me, and I think by you too. And then that document apparently goes to MyBor, and then MyBor approves it, and then they can set up the IDX on your KV Core website. So if you have if you're looking at your KV Core website and the search isn't working right, it's because you haven't been set up to receive IDX feed from MyBor. And so once you go through that process and do that, then your website, within a day or so, your website should be working properly. I think Lisa is all set up now. At least I got some kind of confirmation this morning. So Lisa, your website should be working within a day or so. I will go in and check it for you to make sure that it's working. So just kind of bear with us as we work with KV Core to figure out how to interface with MyBor and get our IDX feed on our websites working properly. But until you go in and fill out the form, it's not going to work on properly on your website. So each one of you do need to do that on an individual basis. Apparently I can't do it for you. So, so at any rate, that's the update on KV Core. Also, Realty World is doing some updates on their website, on the Insider. And by the way, just to kind of show you here, this is your KV Core app, the back end of it, the CRM part of KV Core. And I'm pulling it up here. You just type app.kvcore.com and that's how you can access KV Core. If you're in here, this is your dashboard and it shows things going on. If you come up here to quick actions and you go down here to Relium dashboard, that takes you to your Insider. So what used to be the old Insider, from those of you that have been around a while. So you use your login credentials to sign into your Insider account. And once you're in, you can also go directly there by going to us.relium.net. But this has then your announcement about the conference, and it's got your office tabs. So your agent resources are here. So if you go to agent resources and click on that, it's going to show you things that are available to you as an agent, professional development, agent tools, seller tools, and et cetera. So it's going to show you different things. Also down here, training, RWU, Realty World University. It gives you access to webinars. All the webinars that Gabrielle Jeans does are recorded and you can go and watch them. You don't have to take the live version. Although if you do take the live version, you can ask questions to her. And then there's a marketing section. And this is being developed. They have a thing called RW52. So you might keep your eye out for this. It's kind of cool. It's not all there yet, so I can't show you everything about it. But RW52 is content for every week. So it's content for every week out of the year, and it's got content for Happy New Year, furnace filters, home inspection, carbon monoxide, and et cetera. Eventually, this will go out 52 weeks. And then when you click on this, it will take you to the content. The content isn't there yet. So if I click on furnace filters, it takes me to a page that's blank. There's no content on that page yet. So that's a coming soon thing, but that will be available in your Insider. And these articles could be useful for social media posts. It could be useful for a newsletter that you might want to do. So you've got one for every week. So if you want to do a monthly newsletter, you could have 4 articles here that you could put into that newsletter. And KV Core does have a nifty newsletter tool to help you do a newsletter. So this would give you content to use for your newsletter. So just wanted to point that out, that there are coming things from Realty World. You probably already know this if you were in the face-to-face Friday meeting with Lisa Gerdes. I think she probably talked about this. I'm not sure. I'm in the owners, broker owners section of that. So we have our face-to-face Friday right after yours. So, at any rate, any additional questions? We're out of time. I want to respect your time. All right. Tomorrow at noon, we have our lunch and learn. And so come prepared to learn about title and meet some of the people from Hawker Title. And also lunch will be provided. So hope to see you tomorrow.